Don't move. Turn your fantasy football into reality. Here's CJ.
Welcome to Championship Weekend. Yay! Got your quarterback? Unbelievable. I've never seen so many decisions made on quarterbacks and injuries and shuffling of the quarterbacks as I've seen this last season. After this weekend, there's going to be somewhere around 60 quarterbacks that have started a game for the different teams around the league. But I think the biggest news is Russell Wilson. Now, something's fishy going on there. I have Russell Wilson on a team that's in the championship game this weekend, and he's my only I have him and Joe Flacco in a super flex, and I'm lucky to have Flacco. Now I've just got Flacco. I managed to pick up TYROD Taylor and Mason Rudolph off waivers, but that's a team that I've mentioned before that we took over last year. We have no quarterbacks. We went through the whole season. Now we're in the championship game, and we've got one quarterback, Joe Flacco. What year is this? Joe Flacco is my starter, and the second quarterback is likely to be Mason Rudolph, unless we decide to go with Demarcus Robinson, because in that superflex spot, quarterbacks in this particular league are only getting 4 points for a touchdown. So if Flacco happens to throw 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns and get 200 yards passing, that's a respectable week for a quarterback in this league, 15 to 20 points. But Robinson has been getting, he's been getting 70, 80 yards and 6 or 7 catches a game. And that puts him in that same 12 to 14 range as guys like Mason Rudolph and so forth. So we're trying to discuss now, we have to have a quarterback, so Joe Flacco is starting tonight. What are we going to do the rest of the weekend? We're not quite sure yet, but it's just a mess. We have a good bench, so we're not too concerned about, guys like Josh Palmer not playing, although we'd love to have him. We do have, Nico Collins back in the lineup now. But stuff like that we can handle. We've handled it all season. But when the Denver Broncos announced that they're going to sit Russell Wilson for the last 2 games because they feel that Stidham is the guy that's got the best chance to win, there's something fishy going on. I mean, Russell Wilson is 6-2 in his last 8 games. He's doing all right. He's the 7th. He's quarterback 7 in fantasy football. He's QB 7. What the heck's wrong with that? They're playing the Chargers. Do you not think they can beat the Chargers? Don't even have a quarterback. They have a backup quarterback. So what are you, just trying to be fair? There's something fishy going on, I'm telling you. And last year, Stidham was the backup quarterback when Carr got the boot. So I don't know that Stidham is backstabbing people or whatever the situation. If Sean Payton, who I do not admire, has decided in his infinite wisdom that he doesn't want Russ around. Maybe they just don't like each other, and that's fair enough. But let's be honest. Don't get out there at a press conference and say, well, we think that Stidham has our best chance to win, and we want to see what he's really got. You saw what he really had last year when he played a couple of games for Derek Carr. You don't have a Russell Wilson there. This is just simply almost intentionally losing or tanking. But there's no reason to, because they don't have any draft picks. I don't know. As I say, I don't know what you do. You let Russell Wilson go. There's $40-50 million in dead cap money that you got to pay out. I mean, I don't feel sorry for Russell Wilson because he's making $100,000 a day throughout the year. That's what it works out to. So, poor guy. It's part of the job. You lose your job sometimes. Okay, fine. He's not hurting. But the way this is being done is silly. If Denver wins their next 2 games with a little bit of help, they could make the playoffs. And you're trying to tell me that Stidham is a better guy to have in that lineup than Wilson? Now, I might be biased because I have Wilson as my starting quarterback on that team that's in the running for the championship. But, seriously. I mean, championship weekend, and all of a sudden they're going to sit Nick Mullins. They're going to sit this guy and that guy and so forth. It's just a mess. And good luck to you this weekend. I hope they don't cancel your quarterback like half an hour before the game or something like that. But I wanted to mention one other thing before I go off into the sunset for the weekend. Quarterbacks are an issue in fantasy football, and I keep telling you, as many as you can, just have them there. How many of you, put up your hand, have not had any quarterback issues this year? Oh, wait. I don't see any hands up. Listen, let's roll back a year or two. I want to throw one thing out at you. It was an interesting proposal thrown out the other day. Okay? If you're the Cleveland Browns and Tampa offered you Baker Mayfield for Deshaun Watson today, what would you say? Carry on. Happy New Year. And I hope the season was great for you and their championship game goes your way. I got my fingers crossed. I'm in too. We'll talk about those next time. Have yourself a fun holiday and a great weekend. This is the Dirty Landry Experience. I'm CJ. You got to like and subscribe. Got some good stuff coming up in the new year.